Hey everyone, welcome. So, when you think about gutters, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's climbing up a shaky ladder to scoop out handfuls of wet, sludgy leaves, right? Well, it turns out that's barely scratching the surface. Today, we're going to dive into 5 surprising truths that show how your gutter system is way more important and, honestly, way more interesting than you probably think.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a number that ought to get your attention. $3,000. So what's that? Well, that's the average cost homeowners are paying to fix water damage that was caused directly by failing gutters. All of a sudden, that little chore seems a whole lot more critical, doesn't it? The stakes are seriously high.
And that brings us to the big question. If you're getting up there and cleaning out the leaves a couple of times a year, you're all set, right? Wrong. Turns out that simple act of cleaning completely overlooks the hidden problems that eventually lead to that $3,000 repair bill. So, what is everyone missing?
Don't worry, we're going to cover it all. First, we'll unpack that whole $3,000 misconception. Then, we're going to totally reframe how you think about gutter maintenance, moving from a simple chore to a full system tune-up. We'll also get into the invisible science of water flow, look at the stuff you literally can't see, and finally, I'll show you the warning signs your own home is probably giving you right now.
All right, let's tackle that big, scary number head on. The misconception is that the cost comes from not cleaning out the leaves. But the reality is, the cost comes from when you only clean the leaves and do nothing else.
So here's the key takeaway. A gutter that's clogged with leaves is just a symptom. The real disease is what that blockage causes over time. We're talking about water seeping behind the gutter, rotting away the wood on your house, or even causing cracks in your foundation. You see, the leaves are just the spark. It's the hidden system failures that become the explosion.
And this leads us perfectly to our second big truth, which might just be the most important one. We have got to stop thinking about this as gutter cleaning and start thinking of it as a gutter tune-up. It's a huge shift in mindset. It's kind of like going from just washing your car to taking it in for a full diagnostic on the engine.
And you can really see the difference here. On the left, yeah, simple cleaning. You get the gunk out. But look at the right. A proper tune-up is a top-to-bottom inspection of the entire system. Are the seams actually sealed? Is it still secured tightly to your house? Is it actually doing its job the way it was designed to? You see, a real tune-up has these 5 core steps. The cleaning part, that's just step 1. After that, a pro is doing a full inspection. They're checking the alignment for proper water flow, they're sealing up any potential leaks, and they're making sure every single fastener is tight and secure. It's a complete health checkup for one of the most vital parts of your home's defense system.
And here's the payoff, plain and simple. Why on earth would you wait for a total disaster? A proactive tune-up that catches these little problems early costs a tiny fraction of what you'd end up paying to replace rotten wood or fix foundation damage. It's just smart math.
Okay, on to our third truth. This one's really fascinating because it's something that is completely invisible from the ground, but it basically determines whether your gutters work or they don't. I'm talking about the invisible science of flow.
The secret here is a concept called pitch. Now, you'd probably assume gutters are installed perfectly level, but they're not supposed to be. They actually need a very specific, very slight downward angle to guide all that water toward the downspout. Without it, the water just sits there.
And here it is. This is the professional secret. For every 10 feet of gutter, it should slope down by just 1/4 of an inch. I mean, it's such a tiny, tiny measurement, but getting that angle right is the difference between a system that works perfectly and having a long, skinny swimming pool hanging off the side of your roof.
And when that pitch is off, you get standing water. And believe me, standing water is the ultimate enemy. In the summer, it leads to rust and corrosion. But in the winter, that standing water freezes solid, creating these massive, heavy, and destructive ice dams that can literally rip your gutters right off your house.
So we've talked about the invisible angle. Now for truth number 4, the hidden points of failure. This is the stuff that an untrained eye will almost always miss because you just don't know you're supposed to be looking for it.
This is a perfect example. For years, gutters were installed with these long nails called spikes. The huge problem is they get loose over time. Modern systems use these awesome rubber-coated tech screws that have way better holding power, and they even create a waterproof seal. It's a tiny detail that makes a massive difference in how long your system lasts. And this is really where that professional expertise comes in. A pro is trained to spot the things we can't, hidden rot in the wood behind the gutter, microscopic cracks in the sealant that are going to become huge leaks, the very first signs of rust hiding under some gunk, and of course, that improper slope we were just talking about.
All right, for our fifth and final truth, let's bring it all back home to you. Your house is actually talking to you. It's sending out clear signals when your gutter system is in trouble. You just need to know the language.
So here are the big ones to look for. If you see your gutters sagging or pulling away from the house, that is a major red flag. If water is just pouring over the sides like a waterfall every time it rains, that's a dead giveaway of a clog or a pitch problem. And also, look for the aftermath. Peeling paint, water stains under the eaves, or those telltale pools of water right next to your foundation. These are your gutters screaming for help.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that your gutters aren't just a simple trough. They are a hard-working, complex system. They are on duty 24/7, protecting your home's foundation, your roof, and your walls from thousands and thousands of dollars in water damage. So the final question is pretty simple, really. Are you giving them the tune-up they actually need?